Hey everyone, today is Friday, April the 4th, 2025, and welcome back to my channel. I'm talking with you today about something that is near and dear to my heart and really something that's a lot of fun to talk about, and that is your purpose in life, and how to experience it and put it to work for you, and more specifically, how to wrap your business around it, which is a fun topic for me as an entrepreneurial mentor. So, the first thing I want to share with you is that everyone has a purpose. And the second thing I want to share is that everyone pretty much has more than one purpose, right? I don't think that we all have just one purpose in life. I think that we have multiple purposes. And the reason I'm convinced of that is because we all don't have static lives. Our lives evolve and our lives change as we grow and as we advance. And so, a really simple example of this is that I'm a mother. And before I was a mother, I had certain purposes in life. And after I became a mother, I had certain other purposes in life. So now that my children are grown, I have other purposes in life. So it's really clear to me that while I have certain purposes for certain stages or certain seasons of my life, those purposes do not stay relevant for all the different stages and seasons of my life. So we all have more than one purpose that may be relevant at different time frames or different seasons of our lives. And we experience those purposes in different ways at different times. So that's something to remember too. But it's really important to remember that you have a purpose. You have several purposes at different times in your life. And one of the most important jobs that we have as human beings in life is to experience our purpose or our purposes. But for purposes of this video, I will just say purpose singular because it's just easier that way. So one of the things you may have noticed as I'm sharing here is that I'm not saying find your purpose or discover your purpose. I'm saying experience your purpose. So that's really the first important nugget that I want to leave with you is that I don't think we find our purpose. And my experience has been that we don't find it, like we lost our keys and we're looking around for our keys. I really think we experience our purpose. And it is discovered when we experience it. So we don't just sort of find our purpose because we're looking for it, like, looking in bushes or looking in couch sofa cushions or whatever. We actually go out into the world and we connect with people and we do things and we sort of experience our purpose. Like we notice it when we experience it. So things will happen to us. We will engage with other human beings and we will actually do things in our lives that will click with us in ways that they don't click with other people. And when that happens, something inside of us lights up in ways that it might not light up for another person. And our eyes will get excited and people will notice when we're excited about something that we're doing or when we're engaged in an activity that makes us really just get enthusiastic. And our friends might look at us and say, wow, what happened to you? You're really excited. Well, that's a clue that you're experiencing something that is related to your purpose. Like you might want to go back and do that again. You might want to go back and have that experience again because your purpose is probably inside somewhere of that experience. So start paying attention, like open your eyes when you're lighting up around something. There's probably a connection to somehow your purpose in that experience. So I'll give you a quick example. I am an attorney by trade. And when I one day went to an herb shop many, many years ago, I was walking around this herb shop. There were herbs everywhere. I was looking at the herbs. I was smelling the herbs. And I somehow just sort of connected in this herb shop to all these herbs. And that had never happened to me before. But I went upstairs to the second floor and I found all of these herbal soaps. Like they smelled really good. And I was not new to soap. Obviously, I was an adult. I knew soap. I used soap every day of my life. And I smelled it and I was like, ooh, this soap is different. Like it smelled different from regular grocery store soap. And I read the label, and on the back it said that the soap was handmade. And I read the little marketing information about how it was made in a studio in Potsdam, New York, in the Catskill Mountains. It was made by this woman in her backyard, and it was like a family business. And there was something about that was really super intriguing to me. And that experience ultimately changed the trajectory of my life. But I was paying attention for some reason. There was something unique about that to me. Like you might have been in the store with me at the same time and thought, oh yeah, it smells good. You know, I'm moving on. I'm going to another section of the store. But I stopped because there was something in there for me. I was having an experience that I could not explain. Fast forward today, 30 years later, and I am an entrepreneur mentor to people who make handmade herbal soap. Like that's one of the things that I do. So I connected a lot of those dots forward motion to having an experience that ultimately became the purpose of my life, which is to be an entrepreneur mentor to people who make products like that. I'm skipping a whole lot in between to get to my point of I was experiencing something that ultimately led to one of the purposes of my life. So what I'm saying to you is that going out into the world, being open to new experiences, when you do that, it will lead you somewhere. And when you pay attention to that, you will have experiences that will help you to experience the purpose or the purposes in your life. So I want you to understand that it's not just waiting around or looking, you know, under bushes and what have you for your purpose. It's going out into the world and experiencing different things and being aware and alert and intentional when things happen to you, and being self-aware and noticing, hey, something is happening here that's different in the midst of this experience, and I need to pay attention to it. So that's the first thing. You experience your purpose as an evolving thing. It doesn't just like fall into your lap. It's something that you have to go out into the world and experience. The second thing I want you to know is that if you don't experience your purpose, what will happen in your life is you'll kind of drift. Like you will just kind of drift along from one thing to another, and nothing will really have much meaning for you beyond just, you know, eating and moving along in your life and going to work and, you know, just doing nominal sorts of things. Like nothing will ever seem real meaningful to you. Like it won't move your heart. It won't give you like the experience of being really fulfilled. Like you've got to be able to find and experience a way to connect that meaning to your everyday activities. When you do that, there is something that causes your soul to catch on fire. When you can build your work, like meaningful work around the purpose that you experience in your life, that's when something that I call legacy is created. And it is automatically created. Like you don't have to work at that. It just happens. You experience your purpose, you build a business or a way to support yourself around that purpose, and boom, you have legacy. You don't have to make it up. It automatically happens. But if you don't go out into the world and create these engagements with people and opportunities, and you don't have these experiences, you will just kind of drift. And we never drift to a destination that we want to be at. We just kind of drift. Don't drift. Like find things to do, find people to do things with, so you can give yourself the gift of the experiences that will help you experience your purpose, because you don't want to drift. Okay, so if you aren't self-aware and meaningfully engaging with the world in a way that will help you uncover and experience your purpose, you will drift, and we don't want to drift. The other thing that will happen is that you will be driven in your life more by your emotion than by facts, right? So if you're not experiencing your purpose on a regular basis, your emotions will generally speaking not be controlled. You will react to things on more of an emotional level than you will on a factual level. And that's generally speaking not a good habitual way to respond to the world. Um, Emotions are great and we all have them, but when things happen to us and we react only on an emotional level as opposed to a purposeful level that is driven by our purpose, and we remember our purpose when we respond to things, we only respond on emotion as opposed to on the facts that are connected to our purpose, it's very difficult to stay within our purpose in those moments. And when we are not connected, when we respond to the world in a way that connects to our purpose, it can be very difficult, and we kind of tend to respond out of emotion, out of sheer emotion, or more out of emotion than out of our purpose. And it becomes something that we don't really want to do. So when we stay connected, though, to that purpose, then we are always responding to the world in a more selective way, in a less reactionary way, and in a way that is more in line with what we know our purpose is, so that we are more connected to that at all times than we are with just how we feel. And that's a much more productive way to respond to the world, when we respond out of our purpose as opposed to more out of how we feel in an emotional reactionary way. So once you combine all these things together, that is, experiencing your purpose and considering how you can build your work around your purpose, and being, self-control around responding to the world in a defined way that is connected to your purpose as opposed to a reactionary way, then you can really, really get intentional about making sure that you use your purpose to serve the marketplace. And when you have that purpose defined and it is clear to you because you've experienced in a way that gives you this real passion and this real way to believe in something that matters to you, then you can connect that to how you can serve the marketplace, how you can add value. So when you put yourself out there in a way that you are assured of what your purpose is, and you have a purpose, more than one, remember, because it can evolve and change as your life evolves and changes. And those purposes are probably related, like they're probably not disjointed. They're probably connected somehow, even though they may evolve and change a little bit as you grow and as you move forward in your life. But whatever they are, you can wrap how you serve the world, how you work in the world, how you contribute to the world. You wrap those things around that purpose, and you are always fulfilled. Not only that, you are always able to provide for yourself, because the way the universe works is that it always makes room for your purpose. It always allows for your purpose to be useful, right? Because we don't have useless people in the world. And when people live on purpose, they're able to contribute to the world on purpose. There's always a service, always something that you can offer into the world when you are offering it on purpose. It never comes back empty. It always makes a contribution. And when you are serving on purpose and out of your purpose, because you believe in your purpose and you have experienced your purpose and you are serving and acting on purpose, like there's no better way to live. And there's no way that when you're doing that, that you can't find a way to provide for yourself. And there's lots of ways to provide for yourself. I talked in earlier videos about how great it is to have a job, because when you match your purpose with a job in the marketplace that connects those two things together, you can do those things together well. But I believe that everyone is entrepreneurial at heart, and that you can take whatever your purpose is and find ways to serve as a service provider or provide a product to the world, offer a product or service to the world that suits your purpose, that is in alignment with your purpose, that people will buy. And therefore, you can provide for yourself and your family because you can take your purpose that you have experienced, the purpose that you believe in, and you can translate that into marketplace value that people will pay you for so that you are serving the world with your purpose and fulfilling yourself, not only financially and tangibly with the things that you need to survive and thrive in the world, but you're also filling your heart because you are serving in a way that fulfills your purpose. And you are creating legacy. You are creating something meaningful and long lasting in the world through the purpose that you have. So that is what I wanted to share with you today, that you experience your purpose. And as you experience your purpose, you are empowered to create products and services that not only serve people, but they also serve yourself. It's a win-win. It's a double win for you because it's a win for you. And it's a double win for the world because it's a win for them. When you put those two things together, it is happiness and joy all around. So I encourage you to think about that and remember that you have a purpose, not just one, but probably more than one. You experience your purpose. Your purpose makes your life better, and it also makes the world better because you can wrap a service or a product around your purpose and serve the world with it. I hope this was helpful to you, and I look forward to hearing your questions, your comments, and everything in the comments below, because it's always fun in the comments, right? Let's talk it over. Have a great day.